Here we go. So how do you start off a YouTube video? Like, how do you start it off?
I don't know. I don't watch YouTube. you know they have their attitude. They're like, hi guys. Whoa! No, Peter McKinnon was like, whoa.
Damn. You gotta have a person. All right. So,
what's up, guy? You know Peter McKinnon. What's up, guy?
shit. Damn. I don't even. Well, let's take Martha Stone off this. Oh, it vanished. It vanished.
What vanished?
It vanished, man.
I think it's still recording though.
I found it. Yeah.
It's still recording. It's not showing.
Alright, so what we're gonna do today is review some of our old films, and rip them apart. Right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so without further ado, boom.
Interesting. Was there any what was the symbolism? Was there any like is that supposed to symbolize something?
Well, hopefully it does. I'll be sad if it doesn't. But
No, I'm just asking. Like, was it supposed to?
what do you think it is? What do you think the theme was? Or what was the theme to you? What did you get from it?
I feel like this is gonna be a stretch, but like maybe she is like that. Like I don't know. That's what I got from it. She's so round. I don't know.
Like, about what?
There's somebody in the background. She has makeup on. Okay. A facade, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
makeup, a facade, like. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna say this right. She's surrounded by people, so she has to put on a facade. Is that what? Maybe that's kind of what I got from it. She's surrounded by people, so she has to put on a facade, and possibly she is the teddy bear, or maybe she uses the teddy bear for comfort. I don't know. Honestly, I'm just grasping the hairs here. But
yeah, no, that's it's like a strong. I've heard a lot of different, like, just from this like relationship here, like people saying it about like racial discrimination. Like,
I mean, I could see why. I mean, she's African American, so like.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's like
I didn't get anything about like racism or discrimination from this.
Really?
But I could see why, like beauty products is like, you know, because there's like in the media there is like a beauty standard for like, and particularly like for women in general. But I feel so I feel okay.
Like cut. Maybe.
Like in the media, there's like a beauty standard for women and men, but I feel more so women and more so like darker skinned women. Cause like I feel like the beauty standard is like a fair skinned like woman that's closer to the other spectrum.
Yeah, like
light skin or fair skin.
Light skin versus dark skin.
Yeah, that's. I mean, so I could see why somebody would say that. Like, I didn't get that from this. So.
Yeah, let's say the theme that I was really leaning towards was like the loss of innocence, and like with the focus of childhood.
Oh, the loss of childhood innocence.
Yeah, it's like, but with this is like the first thing that I could say I consider myself this is the first film I made.
And
it was like took like a lot of like gut wrenching, like even something as simple as like this girl right here, and like the girls on the outside that you see. It's like we were just at a park, and then they were like right where these like slides were, but they were just looking, and I was like, damn, that's gonna look weird as fuck. It's just like.
So you asked them to be.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, if y'all gonna like stand in there, you might as well like
come close.
Yeah, like serve
purpose.
Yeah, but that like totally like threw. Now it's like, because it's white.
I mean, I could see what. I mean,
the red for blood. You can get that aggression.
I could see why. I mean, but like again, my mind didn't necessarily go towards that. At first.
But yeah, I think I mean, the teddy bear, that was me trying to be like edgy, but like now that I see it now, it's like I like how what everybody's told me is like apparently that's like a trope.
What,
like
teddy bear?
Teddy bear on the playground is like something, like starting the film, waking up.
I mean, we're surrounded by tropes, so if it works, it works. That's really. But I do like the invisible. My eyes getting better. I do like the invisible cut though. I saw it. The little masking thing.
Yeah, that's deep. That's like. But my favorite part with that is like to this day, it's like this park is at Clinton Elementary School, and that's my elementary school, and it's like how if you're there,
you don't even notice it. That's why it works so good, bro.
Yeah, it's like
if you notice it, it doesn't work. That's really if you notice it, it doesn't work. Yeah, that goes with editing. It goes with like everything. You notice audio. You're not supposed to notice audio, but if you do, it doesn't work. And this is just so smooth and pleasing to the eyes. You don't even notice it.
Yeah, I was like, I really, honestly, I mean, I guess it's like just phasing it out, but like I don't know how I kept it as a poll. I mean, probably if you slow it down.
Did you mask it out?
Like After Effects? No, I didn't even use After Effects. It's just straight like mask. But it's like if you're at this park, you know that the road is this way and the park is this way, and the camera's like showing this connection when it's like that. So it's like to keep it that smooth. I'm proud of you, Past Lamar. I don't know how I would do that. Like if I try to do it now, probably could just plan it out, but I think shout out to Angel. She's Angel. It's a first time actor. She did pretty good, cause it's like.
That's crazy. She was definitely in my band class. I remember her face. Like,
Yeah, no,
as
she
weird
was.
as that sounds, she was definitely in my band class. So, shout out to you. If you
Nice. You know, it was the hardest thing to do with this was like directing because it was like, damn, how do I take this emotion from myself and make you get this emotion and then make you display that emotion? And it's like it's filtered through 3 different sections, and it's like I want the viewer to feel what I'm feeling.
And I feel like, not to cut you off, and I feel like that's why it's necessary to have like specialization, because like you have to like, I mean, obviously you just got up and shot this, but like you're the cameraman and you're also the director. Like your focus is in like kind of 2 different places. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's hard to see like it's possible like
Where
if you like had somebody else there and like really no I don't like this or this doesn't work. I feel like you could have gotten whatever you wanted.
yeah, I've thought about doing a part 2, bloody pajamas part 2 with like senior citizens.
Mm.
So it's like, what is a senior citizen doing at a park? We like
once a man and twice a child.
Mm.
I don't know.
Comment down below if you want Bloody Pajamas Part 2. I think, yeah, and that's it. You got anything else? That's all I got to say. Alright. So that's that. Now we go to...
This gonna be gut wrenching to me, bro. To this day, I don't know what this was. Actually, no, we'll save that for to after. We'll save it. I'm gonna actually... Oh, you gotta turn. I feel it's mad. Let's play it.
When it comes to how we walk through life, sometimes
one thing I fuck with that, like just off rip, you don't know if this is gonna be like a cultish movie or like some like like a yoga teacher or like like you really go into this like you like this I don't know like that feeling like you don't know if this is 2 minutes, 40 minutes, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just had to get that out.
many times we walk through life through a story, through our own notions, ideas about how reality is, and we many times don't differentiate the story from what's really going on. Freeing ourselves from these notions so that we can be more freer in our life, more liberated. For me, that's a very enjoyable life. We compare ourselves with others. In this comparison, this is how we gain esteem. This is how we gain a sense of self, a sense of who we are by comparing ourselves with others.
This man's put some real knowledge to me, bro.
Am I lost in a dream or am I really awake? Life is an experiment. Life is an exploration. To begin to move towards from competition to cooperation. That maybe is a better way of relating to each other as a human race when it comes to happiness and success. The one way I can talk about nirvana is a person that is able to have a space of freedom in one's mind and not be so sucked in by the external experience. How do I behave around others? Am I lost in a dream or am I really awake? And how am I progressing in that? Am I becoming more liberated? Am I becoming more awake, more disentangled by whatever external conditions are going on, or am I not? For me, those are really deep, profound observations and questions. And I observe life and observe my life and see how I operate. let's say, for example, you're driving down a highway and you're in the middle lane, and on the fast lane, you have someone just before you driving, and then they immediately cut across your lane to go into the slow lane and then speed up. The initial reaction might be, how dare this person do that? And I want to get to know who they are. Road rage. So you begin to kind of speed up to find out, who is this person, and you look across and you see that the person's hand is on the 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. His eyes is wide open. His you can see even from the car his complexion is pale, and next to him, his wife is holding her stomach in labor. So immediately your story changes. It's from I'm going to find out who this guy is to this guy needs to get where he needs to go, and people need to get out the way. So when it comes to how we walk through life, many times we walk through life through a story, through our own notions, ideas about how reality is, and we many times don't differentiate the story from what's really.
One thing before this ends, it's like you got polar opposites. It's like you got one guy that's talking the whole time, and you have the other guy who's not saying anything. It's like one person's trying to console you, and then like the other person's just like forcing you to look into yourself by just staring at you, because it's like you know what you did, I know what you did,
and like, after like I screened it, somebody walked up to me and was like, silent film is like the best way to like talk about this, and I was just like, back then I was like, okay, like she's like, a silent film is powerful. I'm like, okay, like thank you, but
thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this, like, obviously, like, in school we learned about racism, we learned about like this and like everything that's going on in the country. And like I kind of got like, but I thought it was like, I'm not even gonna lie, it's gonna be like an ignorant statement, but I thought the world was like more progressive than it really was. Like Obama was like a president like a couple years ago, so I thought, okay, like,
I mean,
racism is like a thing of the past, but like that was younger me. Like now I'm like more like aware that like this shit still exists. But it wasn't even about racism. It was just like I was at a point in my life where I was just like lost. I was about to graduate high school, and I'm like, yo, what am I about to do with my life? Like,
facts.
And I remember talking, like, I was like stressed, bro. Like, I remember learning, like, yo, 1 in 3 black men are in prison, and then everybody was just like okay with that. I'm just like, okay, why is that like, why is that accepted? Why is that acceptable? Nobody else seemed to like care, but it was just hitting me like, yo, why is this like a thing? And then I kind of dug myself in a rabbit hole because I was like doing my research and I figured it out, like media's behind it, racism. Okay,
yeah, but it is.
And I fell in another rabbit hole when I was lost, but now I'm coming out of that rabbit hole again, like, and getting more perspective, like,
isn't it like that, like racism has changed, but it's not like as physical. It's like more systemic, but it's not somebody looking at you and having like the urge to like murder you. It's like when it comes down to like opinions, it's like regarding like any system, like whether that's like a job interview or like
you definitely bring that like
bro, your car insurance rate changes based on your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like just stuff like that, like systematic like redlining and all that.
And it's like why it was like really, I didn't really realize, because it's like people, when you meet somebody, you already bring a lot to the conversation. So like me as a black man, they're gonna bring their notions of what like a black man, like the stereotypical,
like the black man that they built.
I don't wanna blame anybody, but like yes, like the black man that's like, they already bring that notion, and then they have to compare it with the ideal notion of like the stereotypical versus like the ideal. You see what I mean?
A little bit, yeah.
And it's like if you don't fit the ideal, then it's like you're not qualified. It's like okay, so it's like what is the ideal? I cannot tell you. What is the ideal? I cannot. How can you tell me what I should act like? It's really like a matter of like reverse psychology. I feel like I don't know, but I'm getting better with dealing with everything. I recently started to meditate a lot more now. This was my first experience with like meditation, and it was like life changing, bro.
What?
We went in a.
I want to meditate now.
Bro, we went in a temple and like, bro, I was 17 at the time, bro, and like I'm in a room with like 60-year-olds, bro. Like I felt so out of place, bro.
Just chilling.
Like they're going through their midlife crisis, and I'm 17, going through my midlife crisis. Like,
start life crisis.
start life crisis. So, yeah. We did a couple of chants. At first, it was just like, okay, what am I getting myself into? But like, so like I heard about this idea of nirvana in like school, like social studies, like the different religions, and like it's like this ideal place where like there's no suffering, there's no pain, there's no joy. It's just like
utopia,
like stillness within you. You don't, because a lot of suffering comes from like desire, and it's like when you don't desire anything, then that's when like it's like when you don't think about anything, then that's when the magic happens.
So ignorance is bliss, type of thing.
I wouldn't say ignorance. Well, ignorance is bliss, but it's more so, I would say, being still within you as like an individual, and understand that like you can't control. There's only so much you can do for yourself or for other people, and then that's really all I have to say with that. I feel like if I continued my practice of meditation, I would be like further along, 10 times further along. But like, I'm young. I'm really like, I feel like I'm behind, but like,
I want to meditate now, but I don't know. What are the different? Let me just let's just play this and then.
Really going on? Are you wrapped up in the story, or do you see the story that you're wrapped up in?
You wrapped up in the story. Do you see the story?
Are you wrapped up in the story, or do you see the story that you're wrapped up in?
Are you wrapped up in the story, or do you see the story you're wrapped up in? Because like,
that was the logo show.
Shout out to Paul, man.
Shout out to everybody.
Paul, Artifact, everybody. I love you guys.
And not today. Alright, so
different forms of meditation.
Yeah.
I'm not a monk, but like, yo, it was crazy because like this guy was a monk, and like, I didn't know what monks do. I thought they were just like, they were the like
just sat there.
I thought they had like bald heads and like had like the things on them. I thought they were like a thing of the past, like they were stuck in the past. But this man had an iPhone, so I was just like, this man isn't a monk. Like, nah. Shout out to the Juan Dharma Project. I'm gonna, after this coronavirus passes, I'm definitely gonna have a retreat up there again, or a getaway, whatever.
Keeps going. There we go. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's interesting because it's like, it's interesting that this isn't working, but I guess I'll just leave it. But it's like, it's like rarely do you see like an image of like a black man that's just calm.
And like that's what I'm coming to realize. Like you can't, like as much as the meditation helps, you can't be calm. You have to be like upbeat. Because if you're calm, then it's like either you're nonchalant or like you have an ego. Like that's what I'm coming to
What do
realize.
you mean? So you can't be calm and meditate, or like
your persona cannot be calm. Like you can't go into like a meeting and be like, "Hi, how you doing?" Like, can't talk slow. You have to. It's like really mind games at this point, bro. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So it's like when you meditate, it's not for you to be calm; it's for your mind to be calm.
Yes, and that's what I'm coming to realize.
Okay, all right. I was lost for a second. I'm like,
it's for your mind to be calm, but then you still have to put on that like persona that like you're, because like I'm a very reserved person, and like I don't know. I feel like I have this ability to just like read people, bro. Like, I don't even
like how far, like read like their life,
not their life, but like kind of their life, but like not even in that sense, but like
what they're feeling that day.
I could just read you. Like I don't even know how to like
read me.
I could see somebody's motivations. I could see somebody. I could maybe I'm making this up, but like once I started to relax, and it's just like I see everything, bro. Cause like, all right, so like one day I was in class and like we were like everybody was like, I was in school and like I was on my laptop editing in my own world, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But we had our final projects and like everybody else was talking, and like there was somebody else that was helping doing our lighting diagrams for like the projects, and I was on like After Effects messing or something. And then this girl just came up to me like, yo, what are you doing? You're supposed to bingo up there. Mind you, the lady who was in charge is like calling everybody up, and she didn't call me. I noticed that, but like, why is she telling me that I was supposed to go up there?
Like another student?
Yeah, why is she telling me that I'm supposed to go up there? Try to read. Like, he thinks like I have a pretty big ego, but like I'm like a humble person. That's what I got from that thing. Like he thinks he's a shit. That's what I think I got from that. But like I'm just a humble person, focused on myself. When you don't show people attention, it makes you look like an egomaniac. You could you say that? Like that would be. But like I'm not ego.
Too good for them.
Yeah, but I'm not an egomaniac, bro. I'm just like focused on myself. Really? Is that an egomaniac? Like,
no, you just gotta look inside.
Is that?
You gotta look inside.
Is that
you gotta look inside, man. You gotta do that.
But it's like, and then sometimes you try to talk to people, and then it's just like, it's a highly competitive environment. Like, people in my class have met Barack Obama. They met this guy's their uncle. I'm like, okay, like I'm from a third world country, so it's like, okay, they're like on their way to greatness. I'm just now starting. It's like, how can I help them? That's how it's a transaction. Everything, I feel like everything is business there.
So it's like you're just like you're just dead weight. So it's like,
you can't help me. So like, yeah. So it's like, so that's why I started to just like separate myself from all that and figure out everything by myself.
That's weird. Yeah.
And like you see the people who like know that. One thing I can say is like you see I've seen the different type of people who like realize like I'm not this just like egomaniac, like angry, stereotypical. Like I'm figuring out like, and they gravitate towards like they just come gravitate towards me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not an egomaniac. I don't know everything. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Well, it's like if you think about it, you're always dead weight to somebody. Like there's always somebody out there that's like, I made it this far in my life without you. Why would it make sense to, like, well, since everything's like transactions, like, why would I invest time to you? Like, it's always like.
But I feel like literally, bro, synergy, bro. If we all work together, this world will be a much better place, bro. Once you divide and conquer, that's where everything starts to. But then again, you also feel like, okay, he has his own life, so like I can't look at him and blame him for not like, because he's on his own path, and I'm on my own path.
So it's like it. Yeah.
If they do happen to coincide, then they coincide. He hit the floor running. Like I'm working my way.
I'd say,
you know what I'm saying? I'm on my path.
Isn't it?
And I'm not rushing. I'm just on my own path.
I'd say, isn't it always like better that way when you ask for help and then it's like, nah. But then it's like, now it's not an issue of help, but like partnership, and it's like, you don't need me, I don't need you. Like, you're gonna get where you're going regardless, but it would make sense to team up and then instead of
so like one thing I do notice, like I was directing my final film for like my Sight and Sound studio. It's like a studio environment, and like we mimic like a television set. It was dumb. It was super cool. We mimicked like a television TV studio environment. It was like a 3-camera thing with like different walls and like we could build stuff, add props and move. And like I did my final project. It wasn't the best final project because like I was balancing a whole bunch of other stuff at the time. But and after the final project, during my final project, like somebody was like, "Yo, I think you should do this, this, and this," and I was like, "Oh, that was mad cool." Like he was seeing stuff I didn't even see, and that's the guy I told you like I would like him to be my producer, because he's like he sees that I'm not like I'm just learning. I'm on my own path. He's on his own path. He wants to be a producer, so he helped me out. And like when I said that, like I peeped some other girl in the class, like he reached his hand back and she gave him like a high five. They're helping me, bro. They want to see me win.
Oh.
They're not against me. You can see who's against you and who's not against you. So this is why it's like racism is like bad, but it's like not everybody is like necessarily like racist. Like they understand this shit is pretty fucked up.
Yeah. How long are we going for? Yeah, that's about 30 minutes right there. So yeah, that's a good.
Shout out to my people at NYU. Once I figure it out, I will contact you guys.
Yeah, 33. All right, so yeah, that's it. Got any? Drop the socials.
I don't really use social media, man. I'm a low key type of person, bro.
Yeah. So you heard him. Find him on the streets.
If you catch me, I'll say what's up to you.
Alright, boom. Tune in next episode. I don't know. We'll be reacting to I don't know.
Sir.
Alright, boom.